So I'm bringing a little recipe. I'm going to share a recipe today. This one is usually on Fridays I eat only seafood for my protein. Most of my diet is revolves around animals, and you know I eat mostly protein and fat, a little bit of carbs. I do eat some vegetables, but I really believe in a animal-based diet and that seems to work great for me. I've also realized recently that avoiding dairy and eggs seems to work best for me. But anyway, I wanted to share a little recipe that I've done. Like I said, on Fridays, one of my seafood recipes, and it's salmon cakes. I don't always use the same kind of salmon. Today I'm going to use this Trader Joe's Sockeye salmon. This would be the second time I've had it, and both times I've made salmon cakes with it. And it's a wild caught Pacific salmon, good fat content. It's the whole chunk of salmon. It's got the skin and bones, which I really like. I actually avoid salmon that is boneless and with the skin removed. I think it tastes better, and I think it's a lot more nutritious. So anyway, going with this, the sockeye salmon, I'll use the whole can. Should be about, looks like it's somewhere 45 grams of protein, a good amount, 20 grams of fat or so. What I like to do, I don't always do the same thing, but I will use some sort of an oil that I add to that salmon. So today, I think I'm going to go with some avocado oil. I picked this up at Sam's. It was a good price, and we make it last. I'm also going to add some avocado oil mayo to it for flavor and some fat. This one does have eggs in it, as most mayo does, and vinegar, mustard. Very clean. Chosen Foods traditional mayo. No sugar, and like I said, avocado oil based. So that's the fat, that's the oil that I'll add to it. For added, I guess, added texture and flavor, I really love using pork rinds. Again, from Sam's. This is their own brand, which I think these are really good pork rinds, and it's a fantastic price. This whole thing I think is $6. What I do is I take the pork rinds and I throw them in my NutriBullet RX and just blend them right up, and then they're good to go. Again, like I said, actually when they're blended up, I said texture. I don't know how much texture it provides. I think it's more of a substance and makes it a little more substantive, and the flavor is just incredible. And what I'll do with the salmon cakes is I'll pan saute them, probably in some coconut oil. And when I do that, the pork rinds will really, they'll help it cook and just add more flavor. Back on texture, walnuts. I'll probably add to this whole can of salmon cakes, which I'll probably make into 2 good-sized salmon cakes. I'll break them up a little bit, these walnuts, not too much. Probably about that much, which is probably about a serving, 30 grams, I would say, 25 to 30 grams. And other than that, I'm really just going to season them. I'm going to go with some onion powder, garlic powder, and salt, of course. And I think that's it. I think I'm going to go with that, and we'll show you how we do it. So there's the salmon. Good looking piece of salmon there. Nice and pink, and like I said, skin and bones. So I'll put that right in there. A little bit of mayo. Not much left in this jar, so I'll kill it. Some avocado oil. Probably about a serving, about a tablespoon. Now do some seasoning first. A little bit of salt. Like 1/8 of a teaspoon. Or actually 1/8 of a tablespoon, sorry. And sprinkle in some garlic powder. A little bit of onion powder. Now I will blend that in. We'll get that oil and the mayonnaise and the seasoning all blended in. When I have salmon at home, canned salmon anyway, like I said, I don't always have this. Once in a while, we'll make a Trader Joe's run, and I'll pick that up. It's about $4 a can. It's a little pricier than the other salmon I get. The other salmon is a little more readily available at most supermarkets. Usually, Chicken of the Sea is one of the brands I go for. I think it's pink salmon traditional style. It's called, and it's good. It has a good protein, good fat content. Again, that has skin and bones, which I like. Now I'll crunch up some walnuts in here. I love nuts in tuna salad, chicken salad. This, I suppose, at this point you could say it's a salmon salad until it gets pushed into the cake. So it just adds a nice, of course, it adds some nice healthy fat, more nice calories, and of course the flavor. And after this, the only other thing I want to add is the pork rinds. And this is how the pork rinds are. Some of it sticks to the top because of the fat in it, so it's sticky, and well, that's what makes it good. So just dump this right in there. And then, like I said, it sticks at the top of the... You can crunch up... I'm sure, there's a lot of different methods for crunching up pork rinds. It's becoming really popular in recipes. I think most often I see people crunch them up in a bag. That's probably better. That's actually probably a better method than what I do here. I just don't like wasting the bags for that kind of thing. Although I do have some silicone bags that I could use and reuse. But maybe I'll try that next time. This is okay though. I'll just need to wash it, of course. But that's it. Now I just mix it up, and after that, just be forming it into patties. So I've got my salmon cake mixture in this bowl here, and I'm just going to pat them together into a patty, into a cake. And it stays together pretty good with that oil and the pork rinds. I get it nice, and I've got a preheated pan here. And I'm going with ghee today. I've used a bunch of different oils, and they all are pretty good, but I usually either do coconut oil or ghee. So I'll throw this cake into the preheated pan. That's sauteing up nice now. I'll get this second cake ready to go. Be a little obsessive sometimes, but I like to cook. So there we go. 2 salmon cakes sauteing up nice.